I'd like to call a roll call.
Commissioner Lack.
Here.
Commissioner Zilli. Commissioner Ackdahl. Here. Commissioner Lunt. Here. Mayor Lynch. Commissioner Finley. Here.
I'd like the approval of minutes for the July 28th meeting. Has everyone had a chance to review them? Any changes? Like the roll call or a motion for approval?
Second. Who made the motion? Can't be you.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lack.
Yes.
Commissioner Ackdahl.
Yes.
Commissioner Lunt. Yes.
We have a change to make for the March 24th meeting.
Chairman, if I could, I have something I'd like to address the commission with. Do you have those agendas copies?
Yes, sir. They're out, but you're saying, okay.
So I thought maybe we could take a virtual trip back in time today to March 24th. So one of the things that we addressed at the March 24th meeting was the refunding or refinancing of the Fronius bond. In speaking with bond counsel from Indianapolis, they've asked that we clarify a little bit better in the minutes. So what I've presented to you is my purported amended minutes. Not a lot of change, but just for the record, better describe the resolution as a refunding and appropriation resolution. Before it just said resolution. I wanted to make clear in the minutes that a public hearing had been advertised for that meeting and nobody showed to speak for or against. And then the rest of the minutes are the same. So I would ask the board, if you would, to approve these amended minutes for March 24th, 2022 as presented.
Any questions? Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve the amended minutes for March 24th, 2022.
Second.
Motion and a second. Can we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner Lack.
Yes.
Commissioner Ackdahl.
Yes.
Commissioner Lunt.
Yes.
And now I'd like to bring you back to August 25th from March 24th. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a claims report.
Yes, I believe that distributed before the meeting were the registers for the Redevelopment Commission, General, NERC, and Allocation Area. I would recommend approving those registers contingent upon APV number 56630 being removed from the RDC General Register and added to the RDC NERC Register, and APV number 5663 and APV 56637 being removed from the RDC Allocation Area Register and added to the RDC General Register. And I would ask that this motion also include the contingency of a review between Attorney Witten and Clerk Treasurer Rivas.
Do you have the new totals for each? Who would like to make that motion?
My suggestion would be to make a motion to approve the claims as suggested and amended by A.J. Monroe, subject to and contingent upon my final review along with the clerk treasurer's review.
A motion to approve as the relocation of the billings for the registers as noted and per approval of the attorney and the clerk treasurer's office.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Black,
Yes.
Commissioner Eckel,
Yes.
Commissioner Lunt,
Yes.
Are there any staff reports?
a few things to update the commission on. Earlier today, Sandy McDaniel and myself met with our contractor, Gary Up Construction, on the Marquette Greenway Trail project. Work continues on site. The contractor reported most recently they've excavated approximately and cleared approximately 900 linear feet of trail and have begun work to place stone on the east side of Salt Creek. They plan to continue work of excavation and clearing on the west side of Salt Creek beginning next week, and the substantial completion date of November 5th still holds. The Willow Creek Road, Chrisman Road Bypass Project, the project is complete. Final walkthrough is scheduled for Thursday, September 1st. The former Gilbert Gas Station at 5439 Central Avenue, work is complete. Americo continues to work on closeout documents, and we'll hear from Mr. Blosky from Americo later on the agenda. Central Avenue West, Phase 1, design work is complete. Bid letting is expected fall of 2022. I believe it was set for the NDOT letting of September 9th, the September NDOT bid letting. Phase 1B work is ongoing, and it's anticipated that bid letting for Phase 1B is in mid-year fiscal year 2024. 2022 paving program, Ruth Riley continues work. Most recently, work was completed in the Arvilla Acres subdivision off of Swanson Road and in Dune Trail Hollow subdivision off of Samuelson. Work is scheduled to start on Airport Road in mid-September. The City Hall remodel project, we're continuing to work on punch list items. I believe Mr. Eberts is probably in the building right now working with a subcontractor on measuring shades. They didn't show up? Huh. Okay, well, he's still working. Founders Square and Plaza, we're continuing to work with the contractor on closeout document, or the punch list items on that project. Hannah's Hope Playground resurface, continuing to work with the contractor on schedule. If all goes according to the most recent conversations, that work will take place here in the next couple weeks. The downtown master plan, and I appreciate all of your understanding, as we had to postpone earlier this month's charrette event. The department's currently working with the consultant team to identify new dates, and I believe that those dates have been set for Tuesday, September 13th through Thursday, September 15th. I'll be sending out emails and invitations soon. The Transit Development District boundary, I reported last month that hearing was going to take place on August 11th. It did. The RDA did approve the boundary for the Portage Ogden Dunes Transit Development boundary, and I believe the next step is their recommendation making its way to the Senate Budget Committee in Indianapolis. That concludes my report, unless you have questions.
Thanks, AJ.
If I could, Commissioner Lack, Bill, would you like to present your report now, or would you rather have it come up a little later? Commissioners, what would be your pleasure?
Take care of you now.
Thank you, Commissioners. I have one item for you tonight. We've received some interest from a potential buyer for a property that was not on our disposition list earlier. In order to be in compliance with IC 36, we went out and we have 2 appraisals, contracts that are on the handout that I gave you earlier today. So tonight I would like to ask your permission to authorize these 2 appraisals for that property.
Is this the property next to the tollway?
Next to what? Yes, yep. And it's owned by the RDC.
These proposals are pretty straightforward like last time. I looked them through and spoken with Bill about these, and my recommendation would be to approve and move forward.
Is there a motion?
So move.
Second?
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please. Yes.
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 If I could too, since the mayor is absent and her name is on the signature line for these contracts, with the attorney's approval, I'd like to email them over to her for signatures.
That would be fine, yes.
Good. Thank you very much. That's all I have tonight.
Thanks, Bill. No old business on the agenda. Moving to new business. 8.1, approval of change order number 1 for Central Avenue demo.
Yes, included in your packet, you will see change order number 1 for the property at 5439 Central Avenue. With us today to walk us through that change order is John Blosky from Americo, Inc.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. So this change order is to GE Marshall for some work extra work associated with heating oil tank that was uncovered, and for a few deducts for work that they didn't do or didn't meet spec. I met with AJ and Sandy and discussed it, and we deducted the full amount of those schedule of values. So it's basically getting a few things not to spec, but for not any cost either. So this will close out the contract with GE Marshall. The other contractor that was a cleaning contractor, that project has been closed out. So the only open item is the state, they received our report on the closure of the underground storage tanks, and everything was acceptable to them. We are waiting for it's called a level 4 quality assurance, quality control package from the laboratory. And usually that takes a month or 2 months to get because it's a lot of quality insurance data. And once the state when we get it, we just forward it right off. And when they get it, it's digitally. Then they send us the letter that it's all closed out. But essentially, the job is done at this point with the approval of this. And then I forwarded the payment application along with this, which might be on some other thing or so. Any questions?
No questions? Could we have a motion?
Motion to approve change order number 1 for GE Marshall.
Second.
Any other discussion? AJ, can we have a roll call vote, please? Yes.
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 Thanks, John.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me and my company to provide this service to you. Have a great day. Thank you.
8.2, approval, permission to install fiber cables.
Yes, included in your packet is an email communications between a representative of the Troyer Group in communication with both Sandy McDaniel and Sonia Lindgren regarding the ability to, I believe, place fiber within Portage Lakefront South properties. They originally had approached the department seeking a right-of-way permit. However, it was, as you know, that's not public right-of-way, that's property owned by the City of Portage Redevelopment Commission. So that is why this is before you this afternoon. I believe included in your packet is a very difficult to read black and white illustration of where that fiber is going to run. It looks like it extends from Hillcrest Road at the entrance of the town of Ogden Dunes south to Ogden Avenue, which is the road that runs on the north side of the Norfolk Southern Railroad right-of-way, and then enters Redevelopment Commission property at the old west gate of National Steel, runs along the north side of that roadway until it makes its way to the circle near the open air pavilion and continues along the road, the park road on the north side, crosses the Midwest Steel Highway Bridge road, and then extends north along the east property line of Precoat Metals, turns in a westerly direction, and then feeds to the back or the northeast corner of the Precoat Metals facility. I don't believe there's any problem with this. It'd be staff's recommendation to approve the request.
Are they going to bore that underground?
Sandy, do you have any understanding of their means and methods of placement?
Meaning it's not going to be overhead lines or anything?
I believe it's underground, but we will definitely clarify as we move through the process.
Any other questions or motions?
I make a motion for approval.
Second.
I have a second and a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Lack,
Yes.
Commissioner Eckball,
Yes.
Commissioner Lunt.
Yes.
Okay, any other business? We have a NIPSCO right to entry.
Yes, I received a letter earlier this month from a Mr. Matt Gilligan, who is a in proximity of the compost site and NIPSCO substation. I forwarded this language to Attorney Witten. It was expressed to me that there was a sense of urgency in this document being approved. Attorney Witten had had a chance to review the document. He said it was good to sign, so I did sign because there was a sense of urgency in its approval. So the signed document has been sent to Mr. Gilligan at NIPSCO. Attorney Witten's recommendation was to then bring it to the commission for your after-the-fact approval, so that it was on the record that the Redevelopment Commission granted authority to NIPSCO or their agents to be on site. The right of entry at this stage of the process was to conduct surveying activities for a project that's forthcoming.
Any other questions, motions?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hey, Jake?
Commissioner Lack,
Yes.
Commissioner Ekdahl,
Yes.
Commissioner Munt,
Yes.
Any other business?
I don't believe so.
Speak now or forever hold your peace. Anybody? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lack,
Yes.
Commissioner Ekdahl,
Yes.
Commissioner Munt,
Yes.
Thank you.
Good job.